Coors Blanton's. Wow. That's different. I really like that. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud.
Yeah, no, I'm gorgeous. Although probably fuzzier was better.
Okay. So this is not what I expected. Howdy, it is Thursday. We're doing a little bit earlier than normal, and I think we're going to keep the 7 o'clock time frame. It's just I've got some things that go on now on Thursday nights, and I need to just start a little bit earlier. So if it messes with your schedule, I'm sorry about that. But let's get into it. Okay, first. I may have had the single greatest day in like the last 3 years. Today renewed my soul. Spent a lot of time outside. Saw bald eagles flying overhead. Just an awesome day with a good friend, brother from another mother. And gosh, I hope your day was this good, and I hope this bourbon is that good. Here we go. New Riff Distilling was founded in 2014 by a bunch of guys who had been in retail. They had been selling booze for years, and they decided to start making their own. And we're better for it, let me tell you. I have had a single barrel of this before, but I've never reviewed it, so that's why we are here. Now they do their own brew here, so to speak, right next to the Party Source, which is the largest liquor store I think I've ever been to, in Bellevue / Newport, Kentucky. And it's right across the river from Cincinnati. For the 5th year in a row, Ohio has picked a very special bunch of barrels for their OHLQ single barrel limited release offerings. All barrels are bottled at barrel strength. Okay, they have not been proofed down, and they don't undergo chill filtration, which is one of the things I really like. I prefer bourbons that have not been chill filtered. I also prefer bourbons that haven't been carbon filtered. That doesn't mean that it's a no game. I will drink it. I know that I really like the mouthfeel from an unfiltered bourbon. Okay, let's see. These were available as of October 11th. There were 6 different bourbon barrels and 2 different ryes, and they're not available outside of the state of Ohio. This is for Ohio stores only. This one is barrel number 10150, and there are specific tasting notes that OHLQ gives us for each of the barrels. And you can go on OHLQ and find out more about the different barrels and the different tasting notes. One of them had a lot of honey in it, which, of course, I'm very attracted to. New Riff's Distilling Core Bourbon Expression is a genuinely high rye. If you don't like rye, you may not like it. Full-bodied whiskey. Full-bodied, somebody's calling me in the middle of a Bourbcast. Silly man. Where was I? Bottled at barrel proof without chills. High rye, full-bodied whiskey offering savory, spicy character. Featuring a mash bill of non-GMO grains, 65% corn, 30% rye, which is not the highest rye in the bourbon staple. There's, I think, Four Roses is higher than that. Some of their stuff, they're single barrel. And 5% malted barley. A little low on that. Aged 4 years in a 53-gallon toasted and charred new oak barrel. Now, this is a little bit more than that. This has been, I think, 4 years and 3 months. Yep, 4 years, 3 months. No shortcuts taken. All new Riff whiskeys are made with the full sour mash Kentucky regimen. All carry an age statement and are always bottled without chill filtration. There you go. New Riff's commitment to following the exacting standards of the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897 builds on a foundation rich with history to create something thrillingly new to the palate of many modern drinkers. Single barrel, what is that? It's exactly as the name implies. Where you may have a Jim Beam 80 proof or a Jack Daniel's number 9, whatever. These are blended whiskeys. They take all these different barrels and they blend them together so everything tastes the same all the time, forever and for true. This is a single barrel. This means that the bottle contains a distillate that was produced and aged from only one barrel. Okay? So, there you go. You're clear. All right, let's get into this. All right. Okay, on the nose, I'm getting caramel right away. I'm getting some oak. Yeah. That's a nice smell. I like that. Some vanilla's on there. I don't often get vanilla on the nose, but I'm definitely getting it on this. Some butterscotch. I know they talk about the rye spice being a little higher on this one. I'm not catching that so much on the nose. So now this is 108.5 proof. So I'm going to drink a little bit of this, give you my tasting notes, and then I'm going to add water to this because, again, I got someplace to go. I don't want to be driving after drinking all that. So, here we go. That has a perfect bloom. That burn starts right in the center of your tongue, moves out and back, and it just makes itself known. And it doesn't dilly-dally around, but it doesn't beat you over the head with it either. That is a perfect bloom. Austin, how are you, man? We're going a little early tonight. I hope it doesn't throw you off. But I've on Thursdays now, I got things to do later on, so I got to do it earlier. So, okay, yeah. All right, so now let's get into some tasting. That was delish. All right. Oh. Okay, let's start with mouthfeel. The unfiltered gives a different mouthfeel. A lot of times it adds to a butteriness or a silkiness, a different viscosity to the bourbon. This is not overly done. If you don't like that, like Old Tub. Old Tub is a product that I really, really enjoy. I believe it's a Jim Beam product. I really enjoy it. It's unfiltered. It's got a very, very creamy mouthfeel. It's unfiltered, and I like it. And we've reviewed it on the show before. So if you want to go back and see the notes on Old Tub, please go back and do it. And I'll probably put a little annotation for my YouTubers that you can go back and look at that. I got people wanting to do business with me here right now. It's funny. But this, while it is silkier, it's not creamy and buttery like some of the unfiltereds that you might expect. It's just got a really nice balance to it. All right, so, okay, mouthfeel. Now let's do taste. I might end up drinking more of this than I thought I was going to. That's got a, oh, what is that? Something very sweet off the finish. Graham cracker. Boy, that hit me like a ton of bricks. On the very first part of the finish, graham cracker hit me. It didn't stay, but it was there, and so savory. This is a savory pour. Very, very good. Golly, I would love to tell you what I'm getting off of this, but it's just, there's a lot of everything. The caramels, the vanillas, the oak, the cinnamon, the pepper, a lot of those standard notes, but just add to that the sweetness of a little graham cracker on the back end. I got one more. I may not add any water to this after all. Larry's watching. Hey, Larry, how are you, man? Starting a little early. We're going to do 7 o'clock from now on, just so you know. At least for a while. All right. Just a little hint of a mint. Maybe even just a little bit of bubble gum on the long finish. The finish lasts, and then it gives you little nuances throughout. And yeah, a little tiny bit of mint and a little tiny bit of bubble gum. That could be the vanilla influence. That's so cool. there's just so much going on in this. I really like it. All right, one more. There's that graham cracker again. I'm going to stick with that. I'm trying to find honey. I'm not finding it. I'm trying to find toffee. I'm not finding it. I'm trying to find chocolate. I'm not finding it. The thing that hits me the most is this sense of graham cracker. I love graham crackers. I love graham crackers. My grandmother, her nickname was Graham Cracker. No lie. Let me read you their notes. Taste, broad, fulsome mouthfeel. It is broad, very broad. So much going on in there, leading to a sweeter vanilla accent. Okay, they say vanilla, I say graham cracker. But I think there's vanilla in graham cracker, right? Before a gathering of rice spices, clove, cinnamon, mint, dark berry into the finish. Not getting the dark berry so much, but I haven't really looked for it either. Finish long, rye-led finish with brambly red-black fruits amid white pepper and clove. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is what's circling around in there right now for me. Boy, that's nice. I really like that. Now, that is their general tasting notes on their single barrel. Okay, so general. This encompasses a lot of the different single barrels that they have. OHLQ, however, did tasting notes on this barrel specifically because it is one of their single barrel picks. Excuse me. Here's what they say about it. A bold aroma of baking spices, and black tea welcomes a sweet pecan and clove flavor that blossoms to a smooth cinnamon finish and lingers at mid-palate. Gosh, I'm not getting clove. I do get the black tea. That was kind of a nice suggestion. That's the nice thing about reading other notes or drinking with other people who have refined palates, or even not refined palates. They're intuitive when it comes to being able to verbalize what they're tasting. Is you get notes that maybe you didn't think of before. When I read black tea, I was like, nah. Mm-hmm. All right, do a little water. I don't have a big pour there, so I'm not going to add a whole lot. Just a few drops. Normally I'd do a bigger pour and I'd add about a full milliliter, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Give it a little twist. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Woo! Told you I'm in a good mood, man. This is a soul-affirming day. Really good day. I hope you had a great day too. And if you didn't, you will. You'll have one of those days that just knocks you back on your heels and goes, holy crap, that was a good day. I needed that so bad. And then I wrap it up with a Bourbcast. Cheers to me. All right. Tyler's watching. Hey, Tyler, how are you, man? Normally we're at 7:30. We're going to start doing 7 o'clock. Just so everybody knows, I'm going to keep repeating this ad nauseum because we're going to start doing 7 o'clock. It just works out better for me most of the time. I say that knowing that most of the time when it's 7:30, I still can't get to the camera on time. I still got all this crap to do, but 7 o'clock is going to work out better in the long run. So I hope it doesn't mess anybody up. All right, so this is a little bit of that new Riff single barrel, the OHLQ pick number 10150, and we've established that it has some nice black tea notes. It's got cinnamon and vanilla and graham cracker. Nice oakiness, just it's really well balanced pour with just a lot of complexity built in. Aged 4 years, 3 months, makes you wonder if this went 6 years, what would happen to it? If it went 10 years, what would happen to it? You know? They gotta be holding some back. They gotta. I mean, wouldn't you think? Anyway, okay. All right, so this is this is with a few drops of water. Now I got the rye. Now I've got the baking spices of the rye. There's where you're going to find your clove, your baking spices. You know, that stuff. What do they say again? Baking spices. Black tea, sweet pecan, clove. A little bit of water brings out some of that. I probably could have added just a little bit more water to it and opened it up a little bit more, but just that little bit did a little. It didn't change the mouthfeel. Didn't put enough in there to do that. But again, it's 108.5 proof, so if you want to knock it down a little bit, go ahead, do that, and you might open it up even more. I hope some of you have picked up a new Riff single barrel and are drinking it along with, even if it's not this particular single barrel. This is, honestly, this is just one of my favorite bottles. I love the single barrels from New Riff. I've not had just the regular bourbon, the blended bourbon. I haven't had that. Everything from New Riff I bought is this, the single barrel. And I know they've got a bunch of other ones, and I haven't seen those. I haven't been to the distillery. I haven't bought any of those. This is the only thing I bought from them, and I need to try some of the other things. They got a Balboa rye or something like that that's supposed to be just. But this is just fantastic. I have loved every single barrel from New Riff that I've had. And again, they're all potentially different, right? I mean, the 6 bourbon OHLQ picks all have different tasting notes. That would be fun to go back to back with those, I think. All right, so see what happens on ice. Oh, okay. That is an ugly, ugly ice sphere. That has got. Yuck. You didn't see that. All right. Again, we're not going to do too much. Got things to do, places to be, people to see. And wherever I go, I'll probably have water. Let's just cool it off a little bit. That's probably not enough. That's not enough. That's not going to be fair to it. There we go. You got to at least go up half the ice sphere, don't you? To make it fair? Have I mentioned that I had a great day? I am on cloud 9. You ever have one of those days that, call me ugly, I'll say thank you. By the way, this is December 1st, and No Shave November is over. So I'll let you guys comment on whether or not this stays or goes. This, just like this, is me having fun. I have no good reason to do this. I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm not trying to be a rebel. I'm not trying to be an artist. I'm just, happened, what, 2018 or something like that. I was on a movie set and I was there for 5 weeks and it just grew and grew and grew and I had fun with it. So, do I keep it or do I cut it off? Get back to a normal goat? You guys let me know. Majority wins. I'm not going to do it on camera because I got to make it look nice. And it doesn't have to be like all the way down. I'm going to keep a goat. Doesn't have to be this long, but I can trim it till like about here. You tell me what you want me to do. And I will take it under consideration. All right, this ought to be cold enough. Cold like today was, good gravy. All right. Killed the heat. There's no heat. There's the proof heat, that burn, that bloom, gone on ice, completely gone on ice. And I think that's too bad. Now that's to me. Now a newer drinker, somebody who's not used to proofs of 108.5, they may go, oh, that's pretty, yeah, not me. Yeah, so that took a lot out of it. Let's go for flavor. Mouthfeel, still about the same, kind of silky, you know, but let's go for flavor. When it's cold, it's muted. It's really tough to pull out the notes. That's with everything. If you're a new bourbon drinker or you don't drink bourbon as much as some of the enthusiasts here, you may be able to pull out your flavor on that. For me, the butterscotch is there, the oak is there, a little hint of cinnamon is there. Some of that dark fruit came out. I would attribute that to the rye, to the baking spices. Don't put this on ice. I mean, if you like your bourbon on ice, fine, drink it the way you want to drink it. But if you really want to pull those flavors out, neat, or maybe a few drops of water. Although I didn't find that really had that much of an effect on it. I didn't add much because I'm trying not to drink too much. But for me, this is a neat pour. And it's a complex, wide flavors, lots going on type of pour. And those are some of the pours I like the best. The one that I always go back to when I talk about a complex pour is the 1920 from Old Forester. Oh my gosh, is that a great pour. That's such a wonderful pour. And this stands right up with it. There's just so much going on. So many flavors you can find from the front to the back, from the sip to the finish, to the long finish. This is just a really wonderful bottle, and I would encourage anybody to pick up the new Riff single barrel. If you get an OHLQ pick, great. If you don't, you're gonna love it anyway. Promise. Their stuff is really, really good. Next week, we are coming back again next week, 7 o'clock. That's the day that's the time we're gonna start doing these, 7 o'clock, starting tonight, and then forevermore, as far as I know. But this is one that lit up the internet. People were talking about this like crazy. I'm a little slow on the move to this one, but I am sure it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard nothing but rave reviews of the Barrel Seagrass. This is another high proofer. Boy, that's even higher proofer than this. This is 119.48. It's rye whiskey finished in Martinique rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy barrels. I have heard nothing about barrel that has been bad at all. They love all the picks with barrel. That is going to be what we're doing next week. So if you get the opportunity, head out to your favorite liquor store, wherever you may be, pick up a bottle of Seagrass. This is not a cheap bottle. This is an expensive bottle. It's up there a little bit. But from what I understand, it is worth it. So, in the meantime, tell your friends and neighbors, 7 o'clock next week. Beautiful bourbon. That right there. All right? So, great. Thank you very much for joining in. I'm going to grab a little something to eat, maybe a drink of water, and then I'm going to head out. So, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Check us out on Instagram at Beautiful Bourbon. We've got the blog at beautifulbourbon.com or bourbcast.com, bourbcast.com. And then we're on YouTube. This new handle thing they've got that's @ Beautiful Bourbon. And those are the ones we kind of edit and we color and we make it look prettier and add little annotations and all that stuff to it. So you can check that out too. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next Thursday. And I hope your day tomorrow, the next day, is as nice as mine has been. Take care.